Alright guys, it's Ferbs here with another tutorial. I haven't been doing this for a while, so here we go. Today I'll be showing you how I made my flower grill tag. I've heard a couple good things about this, so let's see how it goes. Start off by pasting in your stock, render, what have you. Like I said, I always end up using stocks, it's just how I do it. Next, throw in some smudging. If you've known me for my other works, you know I always smudge. So I smudged a little bit around the hair, and when I smudge, I actually smudge the entire thing, like everything. I smudge everything, and then I erase the bits I don't like. And I liked how these were kind of floating off, give it a nice smoky feel, I guess. This is when you start throwing in your C4Ds. I started throwing in rendered C4Ds around here. I wanted something, kind of like off to the side here, maybe like looping around almost. Just whatever you feel comfortable with your stock or render, doesn't have to be the same. So I threw in this. I was browsing through my renders of C4Ds and I thought, that looks really cool. I should use this as like a flower piece on her head, so that's what I ended up doing. But yeah, just throw it on here, look good at that. I tweaked around with it, trying to find out a good spot for it, twisted it, and resized it. It wasn't just like that, so you have to mess with your renders and C4Ds to make sure you have what you want. Here I threw in a small soft round brush set to linear dodge, 67 opacity, just to give the flower some color so it wasn't so bland. Here I did a bubble C4D, and I put it over here so it looked like it was, like blowing bubbles almost. Just, give it some more light too. That's what's that good. That's what that's good for. Just making it look more, not bland. Trying to make it look cool enough that it'll flow well. Next I threw in an effects C4D, set it to lighten, and tweaked around and erased bits I didn't like. You can see the blue over here and here. Just trying to keep it nice and sticking with this blue, red, orange color. And this is nothing. Why do I do that? I think this is just an applied image. I tend to do that sometimes. Alright, threw in another effect C4D. Notice how before this red was kind of out of place, and this red pinkish was kind of out of place, so I kind of wanted to do something similar to that around the whole thing, so it gave it a cooler kind of effect on the petals of the flower that those would be. So I found a nice red one with some cool designs. I threw it in there, and now look, there's over here, there's some more over here. It's just keeping the red. It's keeping the red that was here originally and putting it throughout these blue parts so it looks, looks like it's more than just some random bits of red. I copied and moved the layer and, reduced the opacity and set it to a different thing, and, just so I could get a bit more red. This was another soft round brush, probably Gaussian blurred. I'm not exactly sure what I did. I tend to Gaussian blur soft round brushes, so it gives it more of a spaced out kind of feel. And yeah, just set it to where the light source for the flower would be, just over here. And that looks like another empty layer. Awesome. Gradient map, just a basic gradient map. You can see it over here. I haven't gotten back to all of my old gradient maps with tons of different colors, but keeping with the basics, gradient map here, soft light, messed with the fill and opacity just so I didn't have it such a sharp color. Black and white gradient map, soft light, gives it a bit more depth, brings out, her face. That's pretty much why I did that. Opacity is really low because if it's up high, it's going to be ridiculously over contrasted. This one, just give it some color, brighten it up. I actually used the colors from the flower over here to give it that nice, like off-tone-ish kind of blue. Here I actually used a golden color, and I used a round brush on her eyes, and set it to soft light, lowered opacity, just so I can make her eyes pop more, because they're kind of dull there, and then boom, they come, you can really see the color in it. Here was just, is a not minimized, it's a shrunken down bubble C40, set to lighter color, 48. I just wanted some color in here because it was really blue, and it wasn't going real well with all this red that was going on up here, so boom. Here you can kind of see it. There's it without, there it is. I took pink and stuff from like this and over here, and I soft round brushed and Gaussian blurred and set it to linear dodge, really low opacity, just so the effects would give off a reddish kind of color onto her cheek. This is starting to add depth by blurring the background. This was kind of misplaced, so, you know, it was too sharp. So blur, keep it blurred, blur this, you know, just stuff that, you know, shouldn't be sharp and focused. This where I sharpened and I erased over this because I want her to be the focal. With my blurring and sharpening, I actually do 3 steps. Well, it's kind of like 3 steps. First is the blur. You blur the background and you erase over the focal and, you know, the effects around the focal. And then the second is sharpening, and you sharpen and you erase everything but the focal. So the effects are actually, they're not sharpened, but they're how it was before, and it's not blurred and it's not sharpened, so it's in the middle. And then the background is blurred, so it's out of focus, and then the focal is sharpened. So it gives a three-layered effect without having to do much. And this is actually a Topaz Clean filter. I just liked, I thought, you know, it's kind of, it's cool, but it's not, you know, if I felt that the effects deserved a cartoony kind of feel, and so I topazed it. I didn't do too much topaz because I didn't want to be out of control, but I think it turned out well, and many of you have said it has too. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I know I haven't made a tutorial in a while, so for all of those of you who have seen my tutorials previous, I'll start making tutorials again. Alright, this is Ferb signing out.